We shall start. We'll call to order the Police and Fire Pension Board meeting for December 19th. Been noted, I assume.
Yeah.
For approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to the approval of the minutes from the meeting held November 21st. A motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to the bank summary of assets, expense reports, and the quarterly bank statement summary.
So as of November 30th, the market value of the portfolio was about 161.1 million, a gain of about 8.3 million from the 1031 balance. A couple fees, the actuarial service fee for the experience study came out, and our MAPERS annual membership dues. And I'll scroll down here. Quarterly statement. Let me know if you have any questions.
Has anything? I'll entertain a motion to approve those reports.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to approve the bank statements.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to the board administrator reports. I have nothing. Ed,
Nope, nothing here.
nothing. Tammy,
Nothing here.
Jake,
Nothing.
Chris,
Nothing.
Lisa.
So Chris spoke on this last month, but Joe Wilder, retired police officer, passed away on November 20th. His December 1st payment was returned, and we were able to replace it with a prorated portion. And then we were able to get in contact with his surviving spouse, Jennifer, and she got her prorated portion for December. And then her regular benefit payments will start on January 1st. We have all the paperwork from her, except for we just need Joe's death certificate still, and I know she's working on that, so that has been taken care of. So I do have these GRS actuarial reports to give you guys, reading material. Linda didn't know, did you guys want to have a meeting where they come in person? Did you want virtual? Did you not want a meeting, or what was the board's consensus on that?
Yes, they come in. Never done it virtual.
So would you like them to come in person?
What the board thinks?
I thought that was kind of what we wanted to see from them, is to create the report, come and present it, and then that would go into our final decision making on whether we would go outside to a different company for the next actuarial.
Correct, because their last presentation wasn't that impressive.
No.
Well, I mean, couldn't answer questions and
Yeah.
stuff. And they may send in two bodies this time. We don't know.
I'll see when the next available time slot would be for them, if they can come to the January, if maybe it'll be February. So we'll see.
Yes, used to be in February most of the time.
Yeah,
So they have enough advance notice. I know that,
so if anyone knows now, if they have a conflict with the February date for the meeting, just shoot me an email or something.
What is the February date? Does anybody have the handy, or do you have that?
I was surprised talking to my daughter. She works for actuarial firm out of Cleveland. And she goes in the office about once a month and they're doing their presentations via the internet. I was really surprised.
I want to say it was the 20th, unless that's holiday, then it's
It's a
the
holiday.
21st.
President's Day.
Okay, so then it's the
There it
20th.
is. 21st.
But other than that, I had nothing else for administrative report.
Okay. New business. First item we have is to review the policy concerning service retirement. I looked it over and I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. Couple of capitalization problems. Section 1. Yeah, I thought it was pretty thorough.
So, Mr. Chairman, do you need a motion to approve this with the changes here in red?
Yeah, I would like to have the record.
Okay, I'll make that motion. Approving the service retirement policy and procedures with the changes noted here.
Got a motion and a second to approve the policy review. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Jeremy? Showtime.
All right, fantastic. Good to see everybody this afternoon. Page 1 is the agenda we'll hit on today. And maybe a sight for sore eyes, as we've had quite a bit of agenda topics the last couple months, and this agenda will be a bit more brief. We'll give a review of the economy and capital markets through the end of November, and I'll even be able to give you an update through the end of last week. Take a look at the November, what we call flash report. November was a substantially positive month for the retirement system from a return standpoint. Lily alluded to a little of that when we just looked at appreciation assets. Look at the current portfolio total and then any action items for January, which currently we don't have any offhand, but we'll open it up to the board. So page 2 on the right shows various index returns. You can see from asset classes starts at US large cap stock all the way down to cash. And the first column I'll focus on is November. And again, extremely volatile year, as we know, in 2022, but November was a nice relative bounce back, especially for just a 1 month period. So US large cap stocks were up nearly 5.6% in that time frame, bringing their year-to-date total down 13.1%. Small cap stocks are up, but not as much, 2.34%. A big substantial gain was international and emerging market stocks. You can see up over 11%, nearly 15% respectively. But their year-to-date returns would continue to lag when we compare to the S&P 500. Bonds, which we've spent quite a bit of time focusing on the last few meetings, how bonds just haven't had that cushion as they historically have. Also had a nice month, up 3.68%, bringing their year-to-date total, though, still down 12.62%. You can see real estate, commodities, and cash. So really across the board, it was a positive outcome for November. Now, if you're curious, for December, we have had a slight pullback again. So the S&P 500 now is down about 17.5 for December. I would say what continues to be the reoccurring theme within 2022 is a lot of these inflationary reports and the actions that the Fed takes as far as raising interest rates. So a lot of these inflationary and CPI index reports came out in November and were fairly positive, meaning inflation had substantially slowed. And so that was received very positively by the market. The Fed also came out and said they did not anticipate to raise rates as quickly as they have earlier in 2022. Now, last week they did come out and say there is another 50 basis points or 0.5% increase in rates. Now, the positive side to that, if you want to look at it that way, is the last 4 rate increases were more than that, 0.75. So they have stuck to somewhat of what they had came out and said in November is they were not going to have their foot on the gas quite as hard. But they did make some comments as well as they didn't expect the economy to clip along like essentially they'd like to see. So unemployment has a potential to inch back up, and they obviously want to continue to keep an eye on that inflationary report too. One other headline in November, there was concerns about an energy supply shortage, or what we've talked about with increased prices, the Russia-Ukraine war, et cetera. But with lower demand than anticipated, as well as some warmer temperatures, that did reduce the risk of that energy supply shortage, which not only helped energy as a sector, but the market overall. Okay. Looking forward, obviously continuing to keep an eye on the Fed action. I would say that's really priority 1 when we're talking about the economy, as well as these inflationary reports. Russia's war on Ukraine continues to be something closely monitored, as well as any COVID-related changes, whether we're talking about China internationally or here domestically, as well as the weather obviously turns into winter. Any questions on the economic report? So page 3, just the very next page, I like to focus where it says total there in the middle of the page as far as portfolio value. Again, as of the end of November, the portfolio did increase to be just over $161 million, $161,144,585. That is up fairly substantially when we compare to the end of September, which was just short of $148 million as far as the portfolio. Page 4, I just want to give you the outline of that asset rebalancing analysis. This is the first report we'll show that has the new targets for the plan. Again, as a reminder, previously is 55% stock, 45% bond, and now we show the reflected 65 stock, 35 bond. This was not, as the board knows, a move to try to time things on the short term. We really looked at long-term asset allocation analysis, as well as Gabriel Roeder's actuarial report. With that being said, the timing of the change, being that it occurred essentially at the end of October, early November, was beneficial for the retirement system assets. When we look at page 5, again, all the way to the left shows month-to-date returns, and whether we're talking about cash, the fixed income managers, which are the first 2 we highlight there, or the equity managers, all were substantially positive within the month of November. So when we look at the bottom of page 6, total portfolio was up 6.23%, and that's just highlighted in the blue, bringing its quarter to date total up nearly 10%, so up 9.62. But again, continues to be a difficult year in 2022, even net of that nice positive quarter, down 12.26. But I would say the timing, at least on a shorter term, when moving to 10% more equities, did aid the portfolio there for the fourth quarter. And then page 9, or the top left, this is just as of December 15th. Keep in mind, this would be net of another monthly benefit payment that came out on December 1. The total portfolio would be $160,222,035, as you see, essentially fairly flat when we ran that report compared to the end of November. And with that, that is really all we had from an update standpoint. Again, targets have been updated, and our next quarterly report will show more of a full quarter. But just as a reminder, the small cap value change that we recommended last meeting has been implemented. as well as the new investment policy statement has been signed. So quite a bit of, I would say, action items have been completed here over the past few months.
Cool. Fed did indicate they're gonna probably have some additional increases, the rate told.
They did.
Through, like up through next fall.
They did, absolutely. They just don't anticipate it will be as quick as and sharp as we've seen earlier in 2022. But honestly, Stan, they don't always stick to what they say based on that data that comes out either. So
It's a government agency.
that's right. That's right.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you. Good news. Any public comment? Hearing none. Set the next meeting date. Looks like it's gonna be Tuesday, the 17th, due to a Monday holiday. Everybody good with that?
January 17th, yes.
2023, right?
Mhm.
I have a conflict.
It's okay, you're all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, someone, just give her something to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very good. Having completed our business,
Look at that.
we shall adjourn.
Wow, yeah.
It's
It might
not
be.
Record, it's probably a record.
Hey, thank
It's
you.
not the short. You have, Sherry.